year ago on Terrific TV Toys, we took a look at 3 different action figures from Kenner's line celebrating Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures, which were airing on television in the 1990s. And so this episode, we're going to take a look at a couple more figures from that set with a few more to come. So a year ago, it was Harley Quinn, it was Bane, it was Ra's al Ghul. This time, we're going to take a look at the Creeper and Riddler from this Kenner line. Let's start with the one that I would consider a tad more obscure. If you're not a hardcore Batman fan, you might not really be familiar with the Creeper, but he has crept up a few times over the years, including in the new Batman Adventures TV show. And I'm going to take a look with my magnifying glass on the back of his legs because I looked at this earlier and I just want to make sure I get it right. 1998 he is dated on the back, so that's about when he was released. At least that's the date that he's stamped with. And all of these figures that you see, like the 3 earlier ones we did and these 2 and the ones to come as well, I bought when they originally were out on store shelves or people got for me. I didn't collect them later on eBay or any place like that. I bought them when they came out because I was pretty hardcore collecting back then in the late 90s. So the Creeper was on the animated series, and let's talk a little bit about him. This is from the Batman Wiki, and the Creeper's real name is Jack Ryder. His first appearance, I did not realize that this was so early, but his first appearance was in April 1968 in Showcase issue number 73, and he was created by Steve Ditko. And just a word about the Creeper, Jack Ryder is an outspoken television newscaster and reporter for a Gotham City TV station. And so they played that up in the animated series. They showed him in his job with the TV station, and so that's why, as an accessory for this action figure, you've got this TV camera. So that's kind of cool, a little bit different here. And you can see on the side, it says Gotham Insider and Jack Ryder. And so that was his TV show. And so you can see a little bit of the detail. It does swivel on here. Yeah. And on the back, it's got this removable slider plate sort of thing. On one side, it's got the Jack Ryder image, so you can line that up and you can see where it shows Jack Ryder and Gotham Insider logo. And then on the back, you can line that up as the Creeper. Yeah, thereabouts. The Creeper. Okay, so kind of a cool function of that. And there is one accessory missing. I just looked for it before I turned on the camera. I went downstairs in the box where all of these figures are. I looked through every tiny little part in that box, but I did not find the microphone. And I'm going to show you at the end of this episode, I'm going to show you a picture of both of these figures in the packaging so you can see what I'm talking about. It just was a long, thin microphone accessory that he had as well. But besides that, he's intact. So he's got his reddish color gloves and boots with the bizarre trim here, and his little drawers he's got on that are green and black, and he's very yellow. He's almost got a Joker thing going on here, right? He's got an odd color skin and a maniacal smile, maniacal laugh going on here for this Timverse interpretation of this character that was created in 1968. So very interesting. And then also with the figure, you get this big, flexible, rubbery plastic sort of cape that goes on his back. So he's styling. Okay, that's the Creeper. Let's turn to the Riddler. Now, the Riddler is a pretty well-known Batman villain. You would call him one of the top 4 Batman villains if you consider that as Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman. Would you argue that those are the 4 most well-known villains in the Batman universe? Because those are the 4 that you saw, for instance, in the Adam West Batman movie back then when that TV show was on the air in the late 60s. Anyways, don't let me digress. This Riddler is part of that redesign that I mentioned when Batman the Animated Series, which debuted in 1992, became the new Batman Adventures in the mid-90s, like 1996 or 97. They did take some of the characters like Poison Ivy and Catwoman and change their styling, change their coloring a little bit. And so Riddler got a little bit of redesign, nothing too dramatic. But you can see that reflected here. Some of those Timverse characters at the time got a longer, leaner look too. And you could argue that was the case for him. But he's got his question mark staff that he's hanging on to. And this figure set is intact, according to the packaging photo that I was just looking at. I've got all the pieces and parts for this one. So this one is dated 1999 on the back of his legs. So that's about his release time frame. You can see his articulation going on here. And he's got a very interesting accessory as well, a little car. You can see where this snaps off. You can put it together, little Riddler mobile. So we'll snap that back on there. Yeah. And I think the wheels actually move. So he can ride in that car, that question mark car. You can put him right in it like that, and he can ride along. Isn't that cute? And then he's got this thing too. Okay. It had a projectile. Okay, well, I thought this was intact. I guess the projectile is downstairs still in the box. I did not look at the packaging carefully enough. But he's got a projectile that shoots out of that with this lever right here. And if I remember right, wasn't it like this sort of thing? Like he could hang on to that like that, or did this like go on his wrist or something? Something like that maybe? I don't know. A little kid could tell me. But I'm an adult, and, you know, I don't always know these things. All right, so that's his gun where he can shoot Batman if Batman is trying to pursue him. All right, well, these are nice figures by Kenner for any Batman fan to enjoy, especially fans of those animated series from the 1990s. All right, well, thanks for watching once again, and keep it tuned here to BRBTV for more terrific TV toys. And here are those photos.